And when he said, no one's ever been healed naturally, and I was thinking, I didn't say it, but my brain was saying, well, I guess I'll be the first, because I quit my job because it was stressing me out. So I started my day with like Essiac tea, which is a tea that's often used for helping fighting cancer, and Partiarco tea. So I take those, brew those every day, take that, and then I would do wheatgrass, a wheatgrass shot, 2 ounces. Berries are so high in the antioxidants. You really need those, even the goji berries, blueberries, blackberries, all the strawberries, very hot. So yeah, I did eat berries, but I wasn't eating a lot of, super sweet or no dried fruit. The second half, I leaned into the mental and emotional piece of healing. And so when I coach people now, we start with the food because that's very concrete. Yes. We start with the supplements because that's very concrete. We start with taking all the junk out of the diet because we don't want to contribute to that. But then once we get that straight, we have to deal with the emotional piece. So then I started saying no to everything and no to all the 100 organizations I joined because I couldn't say no.
Right.
So I was like, my new favorite word, like a 2-year-old, is no. Okay, no, I can't do it. No, 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 no. Only because I looked at my own charts. Like, you have to, because I would say, they're like, where are we sending this to? I was like, to me, I'm my doctor. Because usually they're sending it to an ordering physician or something like that. I was like, I'm my doctor.
Okay.
So send me the labs. And so I was like, the doctor didn't notice it, but when I brought it up to him, he's like, yeah, I've never seen that happen before. So I was like, what I'm doing is working. The inflammation has gone down. Yes! So you can't claim what you don't want. You can't name your body parts like my bad knees if you don't want bad knees. It's like we do speak our reality. Like you shouldn't say, I'm broke, too broke for this, I'm too broke for that. You're speaking that over your life. So I was like, I changed the way I speak about myself, even my internal thoughts. The Lord told me you're gonna be okay and that there's a reason for this. So that I could be that testimony and that light to other people who need to kind of not just break out of, illness, but break out of everything that is holding you down, holding you back, holding you captive. It's time to flip the table. Seasonings are medicinal. Cinnamon lowers, regulates blood sugar. Cayenne pepper helps blood pressure and all these things. So either just nutrition services like what should I be eating? I want to gain weight or I want to lose weight or, and a lot of people don't think you can gain weight on a vegan diet. It's not hard. I had a client who their son had like really severe ADHD, and we just got all the food coloring and all the sugars out. They were like in 2 weeks a different person. We did the biopsied every single nodule that was showing up, came back a week later, and I was like, this was the saddest good news I've ever gotten.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited. You guys are not ready. You're not ready. This is Miss Christie with NHB Natural Health and Beauty Living. And as you remember me, I am Curly Hair Crisis, but I told you beauty starts from within. We are thinking more about healthy sleep, our nutrition, lowering our stress, and of course, outside of the beauty routine, we have to talk about fitness. But today, I am very excited because a lot of you all were asking me about my diet, and I was like, I need to bring someone that can talk to you intelligently and has a story about all this good nutrition, and I got a good one because I know you see the things. So that being said, I am so excited to bring you a master holistic nutrition and coach. Also that she is from the roadmap to holistic health, also has some other things with meals that we're gonna talk about, and a testimony that I want her to definitely talk to you all about as far as our health and the changes. How amazing! Listen, how amazing with the changes that you do and some good prayer can go with your overall health. And finally, believe it or not, Dr. Ruby is an engineer and has had a lot of work done in the AI space. I had questions about that, but we're going to stay close with the nutrition. So all that being said, I don't want to spend, anything more with all the anticipation, because I've been telling you she's coming. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Ruby.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I just want you, just dive in. I would love to introduce you to the NHB/curly hair crisis community, and we want to hear. I've been telling them that you have an amazing testimony, your journey to where you are today. So go ahead and tell us, how did this all get started?
How did it get started? So it was back in 2007. I was working as an engineer at a National Defense Lab, and I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and I was shocked with that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so when I get the diagnosis, I'm like, okay, what are the options? I was on travel, and so I got the news over the phone. So he's just telling me, we'll do surgery, we'll schedule that, we'll do this, blah, 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 blah. You'll be on the medication. This is what happens. And basically just like planned my life for the next 3 months. And I said, wait, I haven't even agreed to that yet. I was like, I want to know the options, not the option. So, and I said, well, what about, are there anything else? I really don't want to take my thyroid out. It's working perfectly. But, there was a tumor on it. So I said, what about natural methods? And he said, I've never seen anyone heal naturally. That doesn't work. And I was like, So I was like, okay. And I hung up and I was like, I'm not doing that. I immediately, my spirit just said, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. I was like, I'm not doing that surgery. I'm just going to find a natural way. And when he said, no one's ever been healed naturally, and I was thinking, I didn't say it, but my brain was saying, well, I guess I'll be the first, because I'm not doing that. It was such a visceral reaction, because I felt like the thing that all clicked at once was, I'm about to be a part of a system for the rest of my life. Because when you take out the thyroid, you have to be on medication forever, and you got to adjust that as years and things go on. And I was like, I don't want to be dependent on that. I was like, I just felt like I entered the cog of the cancer machine. Like, because it was so like, this is what you're going to do. It was so planned, which is good that they have a plan, but it felt too automatic for me. It didn't feel like, let's consider the person or anything. And that gave me the visceral reaction that I'm not doing that.
Oh my gosh.
So that was step one, was deciding I'm not doing that.
But wait. As we come back, because a lot of people, they're following.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, she's going to be one of those. She's one of those that says, oh, I'm not going to do that. She's not going to get this done. You're not going to the doctor. You're not going to get all the treatments. And I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with how thyroid cancer works, because you mentioned they were ready to remove. Because I know some people, when they get their diagnosis, they go immediately. I have some friends. They go immediately to chemo and to the pills. What is the treatment for?
The treatment for thyroid cancer is only surgery. There's no chemo or radiation, because you would kill the thyroid, like if you do a lot of radiation. So the only option is either a full thyroidectomy, which is taking out the thyroid, or half, or heme, as they call it. So that was it. So I didn't have the option of chemo or radiation, which I probably wouldn't have done that either.
You wouldn't have done, yeah.
But I was just like, I got to find out what to do. I wasn't going to do nothing. It was like, okay, I've heard that people have healed themselves naturally. I now need to find out what they did.
Okay.
That was my thought process.
Okay. And I'm feeling like, did you tell anyone, friends, family?
Yeah.
What was the reaction?
I was with the friends at the time and told them, and everybody's sad, it was like crying. And I happened to be like in Alabama working, and then visiting my family like the next 2 days. And so I told them, and then everybody's crying. I was like, look, I'm not dying. This is the last cry. Because first I told my best friend, because I was staying with her, and all the tears. And I was like, okay, we've had 2 sets of tears. I'm not dying. We can fix this. There are options. So
okay. Well, tell us about these options. Tell us, your next part.
Yeah. So my next thing was, let's research. I just delved into the research. Let's figure this out. First I was like, how did I get this? Why do I have this? What are the risk factors? What did I do? Have I been exposed to some? I was just researching everything. And then I got second and third opinions from different doctors, just to make sure what they said makes sense. And then I found this lifestyle treatment center in Alabama called Uchee Pines, where they really show you how to use food as medicine.
Oh.
And so 3 weeks later after the diagnosis, I went there because I was like, I need hands-on people who know what they're doing.
Yes.
Show me what to do. It was a great experience. I mean, it was clean food, plant-based, very therapeutic doses, a lot of different modalities like the hyperbaric chamber, which helps oxygenate your blood. Spent time in there. I did what they call, I can't remember, hydrotherapy, where you're inducing a fever in very hot water. So you're sitting in there and your temperature goes up, like you have a fever. And when your temperature goes up like that, it's like your T cells are activated to fight whatever infection or that's in there. So there's a lot of things like that I did there. And just really, like I said, clean eating and a lot of things. I can't go into all of it. I stopped using the microwave because I learned about that. So it was like 3 weeks of a download and being out in nature and just, massage therapy. So I came back armed with a bunch of supplements too. And I was like, okay, I have a path forward. But I also had a friend who was studying naturopathic medicine to become a ND, a naturopathic doctor. So I was like her first patient. So I was like, okay, so I'm not doing this alone. I have information.
Yes.
I'm going all in, fully plant-based. I switched because I was eating a lot of processed food before that.
Okay.
So that's where I started.
Okay, so when you said you went to the center, I thought, oh, okay, you were just going to learn how to cook naturally. You said there was a chamber.
Oh yeah. This is serious. This is about saving lives,
What?
Yeah, it wasn't just here, eat some veggies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was like eat the right things that target the cancer. And those kind of things.
This is healing.
Yes,
It's a
healing center using lifestyle methods as well, but a lot of different modalities. You meet with a doctor, and it's very professional.
Oh my goodness! So you're back now. You've come from the place. You've got all of the things, the supplements. You know what to eat. You're relaxed because you're getting massages all the time.
Yeah, but I was stressed because I was like, this has got to work. I felt very stressed. I would say this whole process was about a year.
Oh.
It didn't work like right away because I was like, I felt the pressure of I need to do this, but I was like, okay. So the plan I came up with was I'm going to monitor it every 3 months with an ultrasound to make sure it's not growing, because that's initially how you look and see things. Okay. And then go from there, and hopefully it starts shrinking. So that was the plan, because I was like, I gotta know what's going on in my body, and there's some other blood markers you can take, but it's not definitive. It just lets you know kind of how, if your inflammation is going down and different things like that. So I was all in, 3 months, nothing changed. Nothing at all. I was like, how? I've been doing everything. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I got to double down. I got to change the plan.
Yes.
But I'm in no worse shape than I was because it's still the same size. So I'm like, it's like I'm starting over. But the doctor got very negative. He was like, oh yeah, take your 3 months and we'll come back and do the surgery in 3 months. When I told him I didn't want to do it right away.
Yes.
He said, oh yeah, come back in 3 months and we'll do the surgery.
Okay.
Which basically says, I know what you're doing is not going to work. Which it didn't initially, or it seemed like it didn't. Okay. So after that first 3 months, and he got negative when I said, I'm still not doing it. And was like, you're being, like I was irresponsible and and writing my other doctor, she's not following. I was like, what are you telling on me? So anyway, I doubled down and, was like, I must be missing something. Yes. And then I got a scan that shows like different radiation in the body. And it did show some abnormal things. And so I figured, okay, this is probably why I got it. The cancer, because the thyroid is very sensitive to radiation. So if you have excess dental x-rays, for example, or just a lot of x-rays to the upper half of your body, that could be a factor in inducing a thyroid cancer. So I was like, well, maybe it's between the x-rays I've had and this exposure to this, radioactive chemical that I shouldn't have had. So I stopped focusing on how I got it once I had that scan, because I figured this is probably why. And then I shifted the second half. It's a long story, but I know we don't have forever, so let me shorten it. I quit my job because it was stressing me out.
Wait a minute.
I had started an engineering company from the lab that I work for. You get to do technology transfer. Like if you've started a software or something and you want to go out on your own and take that and start it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so I had done that with some friends from undergrad, from that graduate school, but the partnership wasn't working out, and I was looking for a way out. I was like, I got to get out of this, and so I quit. I was like, I don't really have a backup plan, but I cannot heal and work in this environment because. So and the thing about that is that's where the faith part comes in, because I can be impulsive when I just have to do what I have to do, but I'm like, I do need money. So,
Yes.
so they just, but I was like, I'm stepping out on faith. This is all going to work out. This is all going to work out. And then they just offered to pay me while I'm gone for the entire time until I'm back. And I was like, he was like, just go heal and then come back. And I was like,
What?
wow, okay.
Well, that's a blessing.
It was. I was like, thank you, God. So that's what I did. So that's kind of off the table. I have to worry about that. So every day I was just researching like what to do. I was like in class for myself. And then finally I was like, okay, I need to take a break. I took a break, went on a vacation just to Mexico. I had a friend's condo they let me use for like 3 weeks. And I'm there on the third week by myself on the beach, just beautiful. There's no worries. There's nobody on the beach because it's off season, literally nobody but the staff. And they're just waiting for me to ask for anything. So it's like I have my own butler here. So I'm sitting there with my guacamole and water. I'm like, it doesn't get better than this because it was so pristine beaches. And then that's when it came to me. I got this download of what I needed to do, how I needed to change my plan, and that I was doing too much. And it wasn't until I'm sitting still in perfect peace and contentment that it just it came to me. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm doing too much. Let me break this into 3 categories because I was taking so many supplements. I was really overwhelmed.
Okay.
So I had to keep a schedule every day. What time is it? Take this, this, and this. So it came to me break this into 3 categories. One is we're fighting cancer. What supplements are you taking that fit into that category? The other is we're fighting inflammation, which leads to a lot of illnesses, and the thyroid was enlarged. So it's okay, so that's another category. What are we taking here? And the third one was supporting the immune system, because the immune system is what takes care of everything from infections to cancer. So things that support the immune system, and some of those overlap. So you don't have to take 100 things in each category. You're taking way too much. I was like, okay, so let me break this down to the top 3 in each of these categories, or 2, and then I can narrow down what I'm doing. And then it became way more manageable. And so I was like, okay, I have a plan when I get back home. And so I did narrow it down. So I started my day with Essiac tea, which is a tea that's often used for helping fighting cancer, and Partiarco tea. So I take those, brew those every day, take that, and then I would do a wheatgrass shot, 2 ounces. So I would juice that with my own juicer with a little bit of carrot juice and ginger after. Now, wheatgrass is important because it helps break down the coding of cancer cells. So cancer cells are rogue cells, and they do their own thing, and they try to protect themselves from getting taken out. So they have a protective coating on them. So it kind of makes it hard for your body to get to it. So the wheatgrass is supposedly to help weaken that outer shell so that your immune system can get to it and get them back in balance. So, and it's the equivalent of taking juicing 4 or 5 pounds of vegetables. So I was like, I'm definitely doing the wheatgrass because that's so much quicker and easier and cheaper than 5 pounds of vegetables every day,
My God.
So I was doing that, and then I would eat 8 cloves of garlic a day, half of it steamed, half of it not.
So you was walking around smelling
I know. I was like, whatever.
You ate 8 cloves of garlic.
Yeah, but I just didn't pop them. I was. This is where the learning how to recook came into play, because I was like, there's all these things I need to take, especially I learned where I was at Uchee Pines. I'm sure people are going to ask. When I would have the food there, I was like, we could have combined these 3 things. This would taste so much better. Because I'm just like thinking, I'm going to take whatever you tell me.
Okay.
But a lot of it doesn't taste good, right?
Yes.
Like you're just choking down this supplement or this flaxseed oil or this. And I'm like, this doesn't have to be this bad. I'm like, whatever it takes to heal.
Okay.
But my mind just started working. I was like, if I have to eat the cucumber and this, I could have combined the oil with the cucumber, made a dressing or something. And so when I got home, I was like, I'm not choking down nasty food because I just can't do that forever. So I made this pate of like almonds, parsley or cilantro, lemon juice, and garlic. It needs a lot of garlic. So that way I could get my garlic in every day and just like put it on toast. Or I would put the garlic with the flaxseed oil that I needed to take with a little salt and mash it and put it on toast. It actually tasted good. So I was
you're
like,
making garlic bread.
basically.
I'm thinking you just eating cloves.
No,
because health doesn't taste good anyway.
You don't have to do it like that.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. No, I had to mix it into the food like to make it
That is
doable.
so good. And wait, is garlic, so all the things you named, is this still in your cancer fighting bucket? Because you have 3 buckets.
Yeah, so the garlic is it's dual action because it helps reduce inflammation, but it also supports your immune system. So,
wow.
And it's kind of an antiviral as well. So, a lot of things overlap like that. In the plant world, they're usually doing double or triple duty with that. So that was just, and then lots of cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, collards, all those kind of things. So, and then no meat, no dairy, no sugar. And I wasn't a coffee drinker anyway. Yeah, so.
When you say sugar,
like.
do you mean we're not adding organic sugar cane?
Not during cancer recovery.
Right,
My diet is not like it was then.
Okay.
But sugar suppresses the immune system. So it's like if I'm needing my immune system at 100%, I'm not going to eat like any sugar. So I think through the whole year process, I took 1 bite of a piece of cake, like way late in the process, and that was it. And it tasted super sweet because I hadn't had any sugar.
Well, what about the fruits? Really, really sweet fruits?
Fruit, I ate fruit, especially berries.
So fruits are fine. Okay.
Yeah,
You get nervous.
It depends. There's a lot of, different ideologies about what you can and can't eat. I think fruit is too valuable to leave out. Now, I wouldn't recommend like dried fruit or super sweet fruits like bananas or figs, things that are very sweet. I wouldn't, but your apples and your berries are so high in the antioxidants. You really need those. Even the goji berries, blueberries, blackberries, all the strawberries, very high. Wow. So I did eat berries, but I wasn't eating a lot of, super sweet or no dried fruit because the sugar is concentrated in dried fruit. And also, when you combine higher protein things with something that has sugar, it blunts that effect. So like if you're eating nuts with your berries, you're not going to, first of all, the berries aren't going to give a sugar spike anyway if you have natural, normal blood sugar, but they're also low glycemic anyway. So berries usually fit with any diet because they're very low glycemic, so they don't raise your blood sugar. So you can eat the berries, even if you're on a low carb, keto type diet, berries fit into that. So that's where you'd want to, focus.
What?
Yeah, and then protein is going to be like your quinoa, nuts, seeds, beans, those kind of things.
So, after you left the beach and you're doing all of these things now,
Yeah.
you have your protocol.
Yeah, I had a new protocol.
In half a year?
Yeah, it was half a year.
Okay.
And then I said, I'm going back. I got a new doctor, a new endocrinologist who was going to monitor, who wasn't going to like discourage me. And I just said, this is what I'm doing. I just need you to monitor. I don't need the side commentary.
Yes.
And he agreed. And so I said, okay, I'm going back when I'm ready, when I feel like I'm healed, not on a schedule that I have to go back, because that was causing a lot of angst, So the second half, I leaned into the mental and emotional piece of healing. And so when I coach people now, we start with the food because that's very concrete. We
Yes.
start with the supplements because that's very concrete. We start with taking all the junk out of the diet because we don't want to contribute to that. But then once we get that straight, we have to deal with the emotional piece. With most cancers, that they usually have been there years before they show up with a symptom anyway, before we can recognize that it's there. So, and from what I understand, is like most cancers start with an emotional component.
No.
Yes, and it depends on, and where you get sick often represents where you need to look. You know, for example, mine was in the thyroid, and the thyroid wraps around the vocal cords, and it was enlarged, my thyroid. And if your thyroid continues to enlarge, it can make your voice go hoarse, or you can't speak at all. And I was like, so when I was working with my Ayurvedic friend, she was like, the sickness is not just about the food. It's like, emotionally, what do you think that means to you? And I was like, I need to speak up more. I have been the doormat for a lot of people in relationships, work relationships. I was the quintessential yes person because I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I didn't want to rock the boat. People aren't going to like me. I'm just going to be the people pleaser.
Yes.
And I was like, but I don't like it because everybody's happy except me, you know? And I'm always trying to be the invisible person in the room. I'm going to be the person who like slips in the back of the room quietly. I don't want to be seen. I'm just very demure. And I was like, yeah, I think I have been stifling myself. I need to literally speak up and speak out. And so that's where I had to start focusing. So then I started saying no to everything, and no to all the 100 organizations I joined because I couldn't say no.
Right.
So I was like, my new favorite word, like a 2-year-old, is no. Okay, no, I can't do it. No, 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 no.
Wait, so listen, years ago, when I was a lot younger and in college, I remember my father told me, his aunt, she had been bedridden, she had cancer. I wasn't sure what kind, maybe blood cancer. But she said, well, I know why I'm sick. She said, I'm sick because I haven't talked to your aunt. She never forgave her sister for something. I just thought it was like we're from the South. We say all those types of things. But now you're trying to make me think.
She was right.
Perhaps what we're thinking and what's going on internally is manifesting or showing up physically in our bodies?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Everyone I work with, I was like, okay, what was going on when this diagnosis happened, or what was going on for the last 2 years? And they're like, oh, well, there's always something. There's maybe like one person I've come across and they're like, no, everything was perfect. I'm like, okay, that's possible. But everyone else, yeah, there's something, a death of a parent that they never got over, a currently toxic relationship that they're in, someone that they've been holding a grudge against forever, just living imbalanced. And I came to that because I started reading these books. One of them was Love, Medicine, and Miracles by Bernie Siegel, and then Andrew Weil has another book, Spontaneous Healing. And it talked about how there was a story of this woman who she got this terrible like breast cancer or some type of cancer. Tumor was really big. Went into the hospital and all her family was around and was like doting on her and giving her all this love and support and attention. And it started shrinking. And so she was went home. Everybody started ignoring her again. Her kids, her son, her husband, it came back. And they went through the cycle like at least 2 times. And they're telling her like, the connection here is you're feeling dismissed, ignored, taken for granted, and your body is manifesting it, a way for you to get attention again, to feel seen and feel cared for. Because when she had the cancer diagnosis, everybody's hand and foot. What do you need? You know, are you okay? And now she's feeling appreciated. And I was like, whoa, that's wild.
That is.
That it can kind of grow. And so I started thinking like, okay, that's why I quit, because I felt like I wasn't being appreciated in this job. I'm doing way too much, but not getting way too much of the money. You know, I'm like, you know, I was like, okay, and I have been the doormat for a lot of people. I have been afraid to make waves. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I literally found my voice Yeah. So long story short, I go back, but in between, I looked at my labs, from the doctor, and I noticed my thyroid size had shrunk from like 7.1 centimeters to 4.3, which is about where it's supposed to be. Only because I looked at my own charts. Like, you have to, because I would say, they're like, where are we sending this to? I was like, to me, I'm my doctor.
Oh.
Because usually they're sending it to an ordering physician or something like that. I was like, I'm my doctor.
Okay.
So send me the labs. And so I was like, the doctor didn't notice it, but when I brought it up to him, he's like, yeah, I've never seen that happen before. So I was like, what I'm doing is working. The inflammation has gone down, which hasn't normally been seen. It gave me impetus to keep going.
Oh.
So
wait, how long did it take for that? Because some people
that was
start
about
clean
9 months.
That
was
about 9
about,
months.
Yeah,
We
when I
thinking
saw
2 weeks is.
Initially, I thought it was going to be gone in the 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was like, okay, I'm doing everything.
Yes.
3 months, it should be gone. I was like sorely disappointed that it wasn't.
Okay, but that's still okay.
Yeah.
Puts things into perspective.
It
Healing
does.
takes time.
It takes time for cancer to develop. So I was like, it's probably been there for a while. So maybe 3 weeks or months is not long enough. But I decided early I was going to give it a year to see if it would make any changes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when I went back for that year, I'm like, I'm in it for the long haul, you know?
That's true.
So,
Okay.
and I said, if it's not gone in a year, I'll reconsider surgery, but I'm just going to wait and see. So I went back, it was a year, and the tumor was still there. And I was like, there's no way. I was meditating every day. I was visualizing my healing every day. I saw the cancer leave my body. I stopped saying I had cancer because I was like, our words have power.
Yes.
I'm not claiming that anymore. I would say I was diagnosed with it, but I'm not, and I'm healing.
Yes.
So you can't claim what you don't want. You can't name your body parts like my bad knees if you don't want bad knees. It's like we do speak our reality. Like you shouldn't say, I'm broke, too broke for this. I'm too broke for that. You're speaking that over your life. So I was like, I changed the way I speak about myself, even my internal thoughts. Like when you do something stupid, you're like, oh, that's so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm like, okay, we can't say that. Would you say that to your most cherished child? You're so stupid because they made a mistake? So why would you say it to yourself? Because your body is hearing and internalizing and manifesting what you're saying. And so that's why I stopped, saying I had it. So I was like, I feel so healed. I've been healing myself in my mind for the last 6 months. There's no way this is not gone. So I said, let's do another biopsy because I think it's changed. Maybe the tumor's still there, but I think it's gone. So we did the biopsied every single nodule that was showing up, came back a week later. And I was like, this was the saddest good news I've ever gotten. Because he wasn't excited when I came in. I was like, oh, I wonder if that means it's still there. And there was like at least 12 nodules we had tested. So each paper is each nodule. He's like, there's no cancer there, there's no cancer there. Very somber. Get to the last one, I was like, okay, this one must be the one that's still got the cancer. Right. There's no cancer there. And I'm like, I'm so confused. Because wouldn't you be excited? Yes! No, so he wasn't. And he's like, so I'm going to have to change your diagnosis. You no longer have cancer. It's not there.
Wait, but there's nodules.
Yes.
Aren't those tumors?
No, not. You can have a nodular thyroid that is not cancer. Nodules showing up on the thyroid are not always cancers. Sometimes they're just nodules. So, and when I had done the first biopsy, there was more than one nodule, but only one showed up as cancer from the biopsy. So we definitely tested that one and then all the others as well. And so everything came back, there's no cancer. And the one that had the cancer was now benign.
And this is the new doctor that you have.
Yes. I didn't care. I was like, the cancer is gone.
Yes.
It's gone. You're changing my charts. I no longer have cancer. I'm out of here.
He didn't ask you what you were doing, what he was... Really?
No. He's like, I still think you should have the surgery in case it comes back. I was like, that's wild.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
No, but okay.
Oh my God.
let me get out of here. I was
And
like,
how were you feeling? Because I don't know what the symptoms are, but
I didn't have any symptoms, is the thing. I was feeling fine the entire time. With thyroid cancer, it's like you wouldn't see it unless it's like, sometimes people have a little pain.
Okay.
But we saw it because my primary felt my thyroid and thought it was bumpy and that it was bigger and that we should do an ultrasound and then a biopsy. That's how we found it, not because I was like having any actual symptoms.
Girl,
Yeah.
well, first of all, you got a good primary, but second,
Yes, she was excellent.
after the year,
Yeah.
I just want to get this straight. It took a year. Oh my goodness! Now that's just I would have celebrated, but then you can't because you can't eat no cake.
No, I did celebrate. I had a big party that weekend. That was part of my visualization. I was like, okay, when I get healed, I'm having a big wellness party.
Oh, wellness party! Yes.
Yes. So we had good food. We didn't have sugar, but we had good. I think we had like Indian food. It was great. I mean, you can eat healthy and it tastes good. That's what my book is about.
I know. We gonna talk about this because health tastes like.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about this hair and I have the fenugreek, and the whole reason why my business started is because they didn't like the way it tasted.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, fenugreek was part of my protocol too. Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for inflammation and all sorts of things.
Yeah. It is.
You heard it first.
It is.
Wow. I mean, but so after the wellness party, because all of a sudden, because you have to go to her site. She's all over the place. Did you start sharing your story? Because where did this, all of a sudden, you were supposed to go back once you were healed.
Right. I was, and I couldn't.
To your job.
Right. So when I was getting near the end of the year, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't want to go back. Because I was working in defense and actually optimizing like supply chain weapon systems.
Oh.
So I'm optimizing how to get the weapons to places cheaper, faster, better.
Oh.
And I didn't like doing that. I didn't like being a part of defense and war because, I think at the time we were like, Afghanistan, and people were actually using the algorithms and things that I was developing and using it to order the parts and things like that. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this. I never did. I just was like, I just need to make money after grad school. Like, who's paying the highest?
We need to pay, yes.
It was like, who's paying the highest? The labs is a great job. I mean, great people, great job. But I never wanted to be a part of weaponry and killing people.
Wow.
And so it never sat well in my spirit. And so I was like, I have to get out of the defense because even though it's a very good job and somebody's got to do it, it's not for me. It's weighing on my spirit.
All right.
So I was thinking about, what am I going to do after, because I'm not going back to work in defense. And I just started searching. I worked with this headhunter who helps you make these transitions to different jobs. And he's like, just put in what you want to do, the type of things you want to be doing, like leading, developing, not the job, since I had no idea what I was going to do. And I found this job in DC. I was in Albuquerque at the time that was with the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And the position was nutrition policy director, and it was all about plant-based foods and using plant-based foods to prevent disease. And I was like, hey, this has my name written all over it.
It does.
So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make this transition, but that job is mine. And I just started calling everyone I could think of. I'm like, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I emailed everybody, board of directors, president. I was like, this, I applied the regular way, but I was like, that's not going to get it. I got to go above and beyond. So finally, I emailed the president of the organization, and that's how I got the interview. And I was like, if I get the interview, I get the job. That's my motto, and it's been true, except for the job I didn't want. And so I had the interview. I came home, started packing up my house. I was like, I know I got the job. I hadn't even been offered the job yet, but I knew I had it. And like 4 days before the moving trucks come, I finally get the job offer. So I was like, that's part of like just moving in faith. And the thing is,
that's what I'm talking about.
I was looking for other backup jobs, but every time I do it, I would feel bad, like literally feel bad in my spirit. I was like, I can't even search for other jobs because I was like, this is mine, So it's like I started getting in touch with my intuition and my gut. And I think the first time I really listened was that first phone call from the doctor saying, this is what we're going to do. And that was my intuition saying, no, we're not. And I listened finally. Wow. And I'm like, that voice has always been there, but we kind of squelch it.
We do all the time.
Yeah, because it's scary. Like, I'm not doing that, you know. Oh. But yeah, so that's how I merged into nutrition. From there, learned a lot from all those folks. Then I got a certification in holistic nutrition and started working with a holistic doctor, physician, and the rest just kind of wrote itself.
That is so... You have one of the most powerful stories. That is amazing. And I just know you resonate with so many of your clients and the people that come to you that they just really need your support and your help. I just feel like this was your purpose. You had to go through it.
It is. I do feel like it was my purpose because I remember sitting at work saying, what's my exit plan out of this? I was like, I can't do this 9 to 5. I can't be in this office all this time. I'm like writing. I was like, okay, I think I want to be like a public speaker, but what story do I have? I literally saying, I don't even have a story. Why would people listen to me? You know? And so it all came back later, you know? And when I first was going to that treatment center, my brother called me. I have 2 brothers, and one of them called me, and he was like, you know, the Lord told me you're going to be okay and that there's a reason for this. And so, and I needed to hear that. And that just came back to me so many times. I was like, there was a reason for it. And it wasn't just because I was exposed to radioactive materials.
Yes.
It was a reason because I may have never found the cancer if I didn't have a good doctor.
You're right.
You know, but she found it for a reason so that I could be that testimony and that light to other people who need to kind of not just break out of, you know, illness, but break out of everything that is holding you down, holding you back, holding you captive. You know, it's time to flip the table. And when you're dealing with something like cancer, it kind of gives you the courage to flip the table because I wouldn't have changed careers. I mean, I had a PhD in engineering. It's like, and a master's degree and a bachelor's in computer science.
So you were invested.
I'm like, this is my life, you know?
You are defined.
And I was pretty good at it, you know? So I'm like, I was not going to leave that career without something life-changing. And the cancer gave me the permission to be like, it's okay that you spent 10 years in school. But the thing is, I loved school. So it's not like a waste, you know?
No.
And I still use that skill set, the logical thinking of engineering and walking way through things from start to finish and making sure there's no gaps. And, you know, programming trains your mind to think of all possible scenarios and what are the backups, what do we do if there's this, that, and the other. I'm like, I use that every day in life. So education is never wasted, and we shouldn't be getting educated just to get a job. Education is about enriching the mind. So there's no such thing as waste.
You better go. What? And the skills always transfer.
Always transfer.
Always, because I was going to say, when you were on the beach, and you know, the good Lord gave you the download, you were able to engineer, okay.
Exactly.
Now the rest of us, I didn't take engineering classes. But you were able to do that. That is amazing. I'm going to make sure that her information is there in the description. But now, you have to tell us more. Because you alluded to it on how you were healing and you were eating things. I know that you all have told me that health tastes like, you know, things taste like health. It's giving a little grass. It's getting a little cardboard. So just tell us. I know you have your cookbook, but tell us all about how you have journeyed into this cooking and the services you are. And she has meal delivery. Who knew?
So when I was coaching people, I would give them recipes and they would be like, what is dulse? What is nutritional yeast? What is so it's different things because you're learning how do I make stuff creamy without dairy, right? So all those kind of things. So I started doing videos, which you can find online on my YouTube, on how to make the things because people are like so lost.
Yes.
But it's all about replacing the flavor. Like how do you get the umami flavors using things that aren't meat and all those kind of things. So I was already a good, you know, cook. My mom's excellent cook as well. So it was now just like using those skills to make healthy food taste really good. And so then from the videos, I had a few really ill clients, and they were like, "Can you just make the food for me? I can't cook." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "That's a lot of work, but let me see." And I did. And people who were eating these meals, they get better. I'm like, because the food is organic, it's clean, it's what I would eat. I'm like, I don't serve people anything that I wouldn't eat. So we're not putting chemicals and food colorings and artificial flavorings, all that. We're using a lot of produce, a lot of fresh food, and the seasonings are healthy. And seasonings are medicinal. Cinnamon lowers, regulates blood sugar. Cayenne pepper helps blood pressure and all these things. So the garlic and the parsley and all those things have medicinal benefits.
Yes.
It's like we just need to use more of them and then figure out how to layer the flavors, and it tastes really good. And so I'm really good at that. And so from there, after doing it for a couple of clients, then decided to, expand it. And so now we have Ruby Red's vegan meal delivery, all organic, healthy food. People's blood sugar drops. I have a client now. She eats the food. Her A1C is normal range. It's from just eating the food. But you can get these recipes right in the book, But if you don't want to cook them, you can order it. And so that was a labor of love to get out there. And I'm happy to offer it because a lot of people they need healthy food on demand.
Where are you delivering?
Yeah, so in the Washington, D.C., and within 40 miles. So we do Baltimore, so within 40 miles of D.C., which is a really wide range. So that's Laurel, that's everywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's a good.
We can get the book, but we're going to have to follow you. So we got the book, but you know how you still need to watch. We need to watch Dr. Ruby make it first.
Right.
You know how you do it.
Yeah.
You said a teaspoon of cinnamon, but you're like, just
It's
a little pinch.
I'm like, it's a guideline because honestly, it was the hardest part was taking how I cook and putting it into a little recipe because I don't measure. I just a little of this, a little of that until I get it,
Oh,
and I got that, just watching my mom, my grandmother cook, and my aunt Ruby and her recipe. She's passed now, but she gave me her sweet potato pie recipe. Now,
wait a minute.
It was, regular with eggs and milk and all that. I'm telling you, her sweet potato pies. This is a Southern woman.
Wait a minute.
Her sweet potato pies are fight worthy. Okay, they're so good. And I was like, okay, I want to do a vegan version, but I need the recipe. So when she gave me the recipe, she was like, so many pounds of sweet potatoes, but twice as much vanilla extract than almond extract. I was like, well, how much? And then she was like, and enough sugar till it's enough. And I was like,
I like that. Enough sugar until it's enough. That's how grandma would cook it.
It was a wild. I said, okay, I know exactly what you mean. Okay. She's like, because she doesn't measure.
Yes.
She's like, this is the recipe.
Yes.
So I got it down to somewhat of a science. So it's the ballpark of her recipe, but it's in there, and I just really appreciate her.
We can't wait to try. We can't wait to try.
Yeah, and at Thanksgiving, you can order the sweet potato pies. I actually make them. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna be looking out for that again.
Yeah.
It's in the link. But before we go, you mentioned A1Cs coming down. So I'm thinking that most of your clients come to you because they're facing cancers and illnesses. But now I'm thinking, you are supporting a broad range. Is that how it's working?
Yeah. So it can be. I do see a broad range of people. So usually it's they're looking for either just nutrition services like what should I be eating? I want to gain weight or I want to lose weight or and a lot of people don't think you can gain weight on a vegan diet. It's not hard. It's like, I'm like, I've eaten a little too much myself. I'm on my shrinking phase right now. But but I've helped even celebrities, I've helped them gain weight for for parts and then lose weight really quickly in a healthy way.
Vegan?
Yes. Yeah, they were vegan. They wanted to do plant. They were like, last time I gained weight, I ate burgers and shakes and I felt terrible. I was like, we can get you to gain the weight and still feel really good. And he was like, this is the best because he maintained his strength. He felt great, but he was putting on a lot of weight that he needed. We did fat shakes, but healthy stuff. You can, to make him gain weight. And then we did a juicing cleanse after so he could shrink down for the
better
part.
go ahead. Okay.
So, yeah, there's a way. So some people just want to get a checkup on their nutrition, make sure, they're taking the right supplements. And then other people are dealing with cancer or diabetes or blood pressure or, minor things or major things. So anything that nutrition can help, which is pretty much everything. I had a client who their son had like really severe ADHD. And we just got all the food coloring and all the sugars out. They were like in 2 weeks a different person. Another one that I was really surprised with, the teen, very moody, very just like nasty to their parents, and just like morose. And I said, let's just do smoothies. Start with that every day. And she said, and he spends forever in the bathroom. I guess he's constipated, So we started with the smoothies. Again, 2 weeks later, she was like a different teen. He was kind, nice, because he was eating junk. And so he was not only constipated, but he wasn't getting the right nutrients. Now he's getting a smoothie that's got all these greens and fruit and supplements. She was like, he has lightened up. Wow. That's the power of food. It changes your mood, it changes your DNA, it changes everything. So, and that's why I do what I do, to help people know how much power is on your plate.
I love it. You talking the language? You talking the language?
Yes.
Well, all right. So I keep, like a preacher say, before we go like 3-4 times.
I know.
But no, I just want you to look in the camera and talk to the people who are watching today and just let them know the message that you really want them to take away from our conversation and your story today.
Yeah. There's a lot, but there's 2 things I want to mention real quick before that.
Yes.
So I have a Holistic Health Summit conference coming up on April 4th.
I'm going to be there.
Yes.
Put it on the calendar.
It's at Howard University. And we have 6 speakers, including myself, covering all range of health and wellness topics and vendors. So if you really want to get immersed, on my website, it's rubylathon.com or myhealthsummit.com. You can get a ticket and come.
Tickets are out.
Yes.
Yeah! Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can, get the ticket and show up and really get immersed. The second thing I wanted to mention is I have an online community for people who are in the area or outside of the area. Every Wednesday night, I'm doing either cooking or teaching live sessions where you can ask questions. You can suggest a topic that I'm going to do a whole session on, or just Q&A. So it's a way to stay connected to other like-minded people. So you can join the community. And I'm prepping for a cooking demo tonight. So,
what are you cooking?
I am cooking a ricotta, a tofu ricotta that does not taste like tofu at all. And
you said tofu.
Yes, I know. I'll sometimes leave that word out because people get like a block when you say.
Here comes the cardboard.
I'm like, you haven't had mine. And the same thing with kale and quinoa. People are like, I don't like kale and quinoa. I'm like, the recipes in my book, you will like it. Everyone who eats any of my kale, quinoa, or tofu is like, I didn't know it could be like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I encourage people to join the community because it's a way to keep it going. Yes. And so.
And he's got pictures.
Yes.
I like a good picture.
I like pictures too.
A good visual.
A lot of the pictures are pictures I took myself. Yeah.
This is a labor of love.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness.
So I have been like perfecting my camera skills. Because sometimes I just make something. There's no photographer here. I was like, I just need to get this. It looks
good. It looks good.
Yeah.
There's no bacon on these Brussels sprouts. It's no bacon.
I put coconut bacon on them.
Okay. Now see. Okay.
So people love my coconut bacon. Yeah.
Stop playing. Go vegan. Okay. Well, you'll have to give us what you want everyone to take away from this conversation.
I would say that the power is in your hands, and that whatever it is you want to do, we start with visualizing it, seeing it. That's the first step, that everybody has the power, regardless of where you are economically or in relationship or anything like that. You have the power to change whatever you want about your life. It starts with just believing it and then letting the next steps, listening to what those next steps are, because it's inside you and you will hear it when you get quiet enough to let that bubble up.
It's so good. NHB, this was a good one. It's like one of my favorite ones. I can't say that. You didn't hear that. But oh my goodness, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Everything that she mentioned, go down in the description and click the link, or go on over to her page. I'll make sure it's pasted right here so you can do that. This is amazing. I hope to see you in April. What was the date again?
April 4th.
April the 4th. Ooh, that's coming up so soon at Howard. I'm going to be so excited to be there because we got to get healthy. Thank you so much. I am going to go out with that because I don't want to take away too much because the power is from within you. This is Miss Christie. I'm saying goodbye. Oh, and don't forget, she did say that the fenugreek was good. You heard what she said.
Yes.
You know, because I'm at curlyhaircrisis.com. All that. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Wow, that's so good. I have so many people that I have to send this to. Like,